Doctor's Perspective podcast, Minisode number 38. This one's going to review Noah Kagan's podcast with $1 Million Consulting, Alan Weiss. Before we jump in, July was the Podcast Awards nomination. I'm sure hoping I made it. For those of you who nominated us, I really, really appreciate it. What a great feeling to just be nominated, but maybe we can win. We'll find out next month. All right. This guy's going to be like a kick in the pants to bootstrap yourself, okay? All right. Power of positive thinking. He thinks is bunk. Yeah, great. You're positive. All right. But is your motivation intrinsic? That is going to be the key. What makes you motivated on the inside? You got to have these pragmatic skills to boost self-esteem. So what's the difference between self-worth and self-efficacy? Because remember, you are who you are regardless if you make a big sale or a big fail. Your self-worth is not tied to that, okay? Through your day, in the morning, in the afternoon, before you start your shift, think of those good things about yourself. You know, even if you lost a big sale, what'd you learn from it, right? You got the meeting. What are you good at? What are you thankful for? And kind of keeping those in mind. When you're doing, say, consults, can you do it with more marketing or do you do it with more quality content? So like trying to promote your name out there. Obviously, you got to do both. But if you can put out good content that people are like, yes, I want to share this, that's really going to go a long way with like organic reach and then marketing. One of the things this guy, he's like, I'm not born rich, but what he could do was he could critically think about things. And to use appropriate language and learn grammar. And he's not like trying to be better than everybody else in a sense of like nose in the air, snooty about it. But he's like, look, I'm trying to land these clients that make millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. You might be shooting for less than that, but just to say. So he's like, I have to speak with the language that they're accustomed to, the jargon that they use, right? I need to use the proper English and I need to be able to critically think because they're coming to me with their problem. They saw my content, they saw my marketing, and they need to know that I can help them. And they may not even know what their problem is. So I got to like analyze and go deeper than what they're saying. Like this is the underlying issue and help them to see that. You got to charge by your value, not by the hour. And I know that's hard for doctors. Some of the doctors get a bad rep because like, well, I charge $1,200 for a month. And you're like, dude, it's normally like $45 per visit. Like how many times you can see this person? And they're switching the game. They're not saying, I'm not getting charged by the minute. I don't get charged. I'm charging by the value. Is $1,200 worth it so that you can play tennis 3 times a week again? For some people, it's absolutely. Some people won't be able to afford it. And then those people are usually like, yeah, that's okay. They're fine with that. Not everybody can afford the best treatment out there. That's a mentality that some doctors have, some businesses have. In fact, the future, I had an episode of them not too long ago, and I want to do an in-depth episode. I haven't done it yet. But that's one of the things that they do. They do like logo design, packaging, all that. And he's like, I charge almost $30,000 to create a logo. Obviously, it's not taking me 300 hours to do that. And he also mentions people get mad about revisions in the logo process. So he's like, if you set up the price where this is $30,000 to make it, and then little revisions here and there, that's when we start charging by the hour. There's less friction and less anger at the end of it. If you do want to improve your language and how to handle objections, a book called Marks of Language is what he recommended. Because you're going to get very similar objections each time. So figuring out how to handle those in a tactful way is good. Because remember, you can't change how you were born. You can't change who you are. So you can't replicate what others have. That's something that a lot of people, well, this person does this and that's what they taught. And then when you go to do it, it doesn't get the same results. And you're like, man, you get down on yourself. She's like, golly, this other guy's replicating what this guy did and they're getting great results. He's like, yeah. Maybe it resonates better, but you don't. So be you and take what they learn and make it yourself. So you got to be self-resilient. Take personal accountability and then make the best of what you have. And that is tough. Like recently there's a guy that was like 5 foot yelling at people with bagels. I mean, some people's comments were like, yeah, this guy probably has an anger issue. Maybe he should get some counseling. Obviously he's probably been bullied as a kid. But like someone like him, all right. You're short. You've been picked on your whole life. Take some personal accountability, make the best of what you have, and turn that into a positive or find a way to make it your own. How to twist it to have the confidence and not deal with what people are complaining about your whole life and making fun of you for, which is easier said than done, of course. The more knowledge we have on a subject, the more confident we're going to be, right? When we're first out of school, it's a little difficult. You're talking about trying to get people better and you've got some experience, but not a ton of experience. So this is what I was told was going to work. This is what other people have used. The results were fine. And so that's kind of where you're coming from is kind of a guess. And then there's more and more sciatica cases, for instance, that you get. You're like, oh, this does work. Or I found this works better. And all of a sudden your confidence is much stronger. So when you tell a patient, hey, it's going to take 12 visits because you have 2 bulges and numbness all the way down to your toe, you can be confident like, yeah, that's what it's going to take. Now we're going to do some exercises as well versus probably just woke up with a crick in their neck, torticollis or something, and they can stepped on the couch wrong. You're like, yeah, that's like 3 visits, and you can be confident that that is what's going to happen because you've seen it enough. You got the knowledge. You got it. Okay. Big thing too is you got to be respected, not liked. And I know I struggle with this one. I want to be liked. And sometimes these type A personalities, they're tough because they just grill you so much and it makes you wonder, like, did I say it wrong? Did I say it right? Did I pass their test? And sometimes you have to just be straight up with them, a little more, not aggressive, but I know what I'm doing. What's that word? Affirmative with these people. And they'll respect you. Even if they're like, I don't really like this guy. He's somebody that, I don't like that personality of this person. But I respect him because he answered me and he stood up for himself. And so that's a good thing. If you have a book, if you wrote a book or a nice long article or something like that, somebody you want to gift it to them, write a note in the book, maybe even put a page number in that book and say, hey, this is when I thought about you, I thought about what I wrote. It's page 135. You should read that. How cool, right? And the last piece was, who needs to retire? Stay active. Keep that brain engaged. Stay away from energy suckers and find friends that support you and your vision and your mission. What do you think? Kind of cool? That intrinsic motivation, what's inside of you that gets you going? I thought that was kind of cool. Realizing that your self-worth and your self-efficacy is not based on making a big sale or not making a big sale. It's based on your core values for yourself and living up to that and just presenting yourself very professional, respected, and knowledgeable and being able to be a problem solver, charging by value, not by hourly. That was a fun one. All the show notes can be found at adoctorsperspective.net/M38. We just went #BehindTheCurtain.